November 15th. Welcome to Kaleidoscope Toy and Miniature Australian Shepherds in Raleigh, North Carolina. Interesting topic came up from one of my puppy adopters about dogs wearing sweaters. And they were concerned about their puppy being cold and wanted to put a sweater on their puppy. And so I thought, that's a good topic for a video is, do dogs need sweaters? And under what circumstances would you use a sweater? Now, it is cold to me. It's probably 50 degrees today. And I'm wearing sweats and a sweatshirt and a long coat over my sweatshirt. It's quite brisk. But my dogs, as you will notice, are panting. They are not cold. They are hot, actually, right now because they've been exercising. Hey, come on. They've been exercising and they're all panting. So if I had a sweater on one of my dogs, it would be really miserable. The Australian Shepherd is a double-coated breed, which means it has a fuzzy layer. If you saw my shedding the hairiest dog in the world, that was her, Jessie. You will see in that video how much undercoat these dogs have. So they're quite warm in 50 degrees. Now, with a puppy, it's a little bit of a different situation. We're out checking hay today. We're out in the pastures checking things. Come on. Let's go. With a little puppy, it's a little different situation. When you have a 5-pound puppy and you take it out on a 50-degree day, then it's likely to get cold. So if you have a little puppy like that, like my puppies that just left, it's best if they're not outside, except just to go potty and go back in. If they're going to be outside for long, it may not be a bad idea to put a little sweater on the puppy if it's not going to be exercising. But my personal preference is I never put sweaters on my dogs. I just make sure that I don't take my dog out in the cold if it's too young or too small or compromised in one way or the other and shouldn't be out in the cold. That's why I train my puppies on pee pads. So if it's too cold to go outside or if it's raining, they don't have to go outside and be subject to being cold. Now, there are breeds, of course. My breed is Australian Shepherd, and I have a couple of Border Collies. I don't breed Border Collies, but I have 2 of them. I have a smooth coat, if I can find him, Border Collie, and I have a rough coat Border Collie. Rough coat meaning it's the longer hair. Smooth coat means it's short hair. But even my short hair, where's Laddie? Lad, come here, Laddie. Even my short-coated Border Collie you're not a Border Collie, has a double coat. Come here, Laddie. Laddie, come here, bud. It's hard to get this dog to hold still. Stay. Laddie. But he has a short coat, but it's very dense, and he has an undercoat, so he does not need a sweater. Dogs' body temperature is about 100, 101 degrees. Dogs are not great at dissipating heat. They dissipate heat through panting. Their tongue is like an air conditioner. They drag the air back and forth over their tongue and in their mouth as sort of a radiator effect. And the only place they sweat, I'm pretty sure, is through the pads of their feet. So oftentimes they'll stand in mud or water to cool themselves. But the rest of their body is covered in a coat that's double. So if you put a coat over that, and incidentally, if you put a muzzle on a dog, you can kill it that way too if it can't pant. You can definitely overheat that dog and kill it, putting a muzzle on it and exercising it. So you have to be careful with that as well. My dogs, obviously they don't need or wear muzzles, but there are dogs in the world that do. You want to make sure that your dog can pant freely. But as you can see, every single one of these dogs on I'm cold, my hands are cold, my nose is cold. These dogs, every single one of them is panting because they are exercising. And it would be cruel to put a jacket or a sweater on any of these dogs, these adult, healthy Australian Shepherds, and let them exercise, because they would be extremely uncomfortable. Let's see, we just came to a water hole. It's very cold out here to me, 50 degrees. See how they're putting their front feet in the water. And they're not really thirsty. They're just cooling off their mouth. Front feet in the water. Look at Blue. She's going to get all the way in. Okay. If I did that, I would have hypothermia. It's about 50 degrees out here. But she's actually cooling herself because wow, that was athletic. Hope I got that. Cooling herself because it's hot. These dogs are hot. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with a double-coated breed. Double-coated meaning the undercoat is the insulating coat. That's what keeps the dog warm. The outer coat repels water and wind and keeps the undercoat from matting. And so the two coats make the dog extremely comfortable in cold temperatures out on a walk. And if you were to put a coat or a sweater over the top of that and walk your dog and it's panting, now you have set your dog up to overheat. And even if your dog doesn't overheat to the point where it needs medical attention, it's still not happy, it's not comfortable. So use your discretion. Of course, if you don't have an Australian Shepherd, a lot of breeds that come from hotter climates, and hey, come on. Well, they're not going under the fence over there. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Good dogs. Come on, let's go. Go, Laddie, go. Take them. Go, go, go. Oh, if you have a Italian Greyhound or a Greyhound or a Whippet or some other hairless dog that's sensitive to cold, then you might need to add some layers of warmth. And you can always discuss this with your veterinarian. If you have a puppy that's small, 5-pound puppy, it's going to chill easier just because of its lack of body mass. But these little Australian Shepherd puppies, thick coat, you're only taking them out for a few minutes to go potty in the cold. You know, you're probably better off to stay away from the sweater. If you do use a sweater, you want to watch that dog very carefully to make sure it's not panting. If it's panting, that sweater has to come off. Sweaters also impede movement, motion, and range of motion. And you certainly wouldn't want to leave your dog unattended in a sweater. But anyway, hopefully you're having as good a day as I'm having. I absolutely love fall. And I bet you've noticed that your Australian Shepherd has a lot more energy now that things have cooled down. We're going for a lot longer walks. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. Yeah, beautiful fall colors.